Hey gang, Drew here. Welcome back. It is March, and you know what that means. March Madness, and we here at Cosmic Red have something very special. Our first listener challenge of 2020, March Playable Madness. 32 teams are going to go head-to-head to find out the best Starfinder playable alien species. So just head on over to CosmicCrit.com to check out our brackets. You can put your own submissions in, and that's all you have to do. The closest bracket to our curated GM and player bracket will win prizes, gift cards from either the Paizo store or our Cosmic Crit online store. So get out there and get choosing. It's going to be a ton of fun. Lastly, I did want to let you guys know a little something. You guys might have heard our show, The More You Nerd, in the past. Well, Miles and I are bringing that back. You can find the new, revamped More You Nerd on iTunes, on Spotify, on Google Play, anywhere podcasts are downloaded, and we would really appreciate you coming and taking a look, because we've got some really awesome new stuff planned, and we're really proud of what we're putting out so far. So check that out, too. Now, on to the episode. Things are getting heated. It's episode 125. Oh, Briar, where art thou?
Episode commencing in 3, 2, 1. Episode initiated.
Equip your materia, guzzle that mega elixir, and stick a phoenix down in your cap, as it's time for Final Criticy 7. My name is Patrick, and I am your GM, aka your giant Mako reactor, spewing pollution into this podcast atmosphere. Joining me here today to play Starfinder are 5 eco-terrorists, globe-trotting heroes, and chocobo breeding aficionados, aka my players and your friends. To my right, she's here to trick attack you and steal all your materia. It's Rebecca rolling with Zinnia.
Hello.
Across from her, he's the airship pilot, roughneck with a penchant for pummeling. It's Drew delivering Echo 7.
Hello.
And to my right, the dark, edgy gun arm character whose curse words are replaced with symbols. It's Pronkin Tyler dredging up to Vasho. Yeah. What was that, Tyler?
I played a jungle flute. It's a callback to season 1.
Boy. Across from him, he's got a giant Buster sword, and he knows how to use it. Buster, it's Jabert playing as Tress Strife.
We really need a sweet name like Avalanche.
Midnight Squad, it's pretty cool.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I think Midnight Squad's pretty awesome.
Yeah, I'll take that over Avalanche.
I don't know. Midnight Squad sounds like we're about to tell scary stories about it around a campfire and then throw dirt on it.
It's sand.
They used... we can't.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure sand doesn't do that to a fire.
Let's wait till after I finish introducing.
Oh, sorry.
Across the digital table, an adorable little kitty riding on its much larger friend into battle. It's Miles mixing it up with Sprouts.
Whatever.
They threw
flour, right? Or
no, it was powdered creamer is the trick to get
yes it is
fire thing. It's actually very dangerous.
Yes it is.
Yeah.
They just always called it sand in the show.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's not how sand works.
Yeah.
Right. But exactly.
Right?
I've seen a fire on the beach and it doesn't ignite the entire beach.
And puts out fires.
Wouldn't that be something though?
That would be a spectacular fire on the beach. Yeah.
This is Final Fantasy, right?
Yeah, well, yes, we are also talking about Are You Afraid of the Dark? Kind of. Right.
Okay. What was the character's name in the last video game where he would always do the he did it really annoyingly, but it was like the dun 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 dun.
Prompto. You're talking about Prompto.
Prompto. Yeah, he was my favorite.
Love Prompto.
The really annoying guy was your favorite.
I loved Prompto. I loved them all, to be honest.
Surprise.
That was good.
Folks, we are nearly halfway done with this AP volume. I mean, you guys are now leveling up, and I gotta say, it's been a lot of fun this season so far. A quick aside, when the 6 of us started playing Pathfinder 4 years ago, just homebrewing some sci-fi adventures and playing with you one night a week, I didn't think that could have possibly somehow led me to getting to write my own adventure and play it with you guys for an amazing audience of Cosmic Crittermanders about 4 years later. I was thinking about it today. We've been gaming together about that long. So it still feels surreal to me that I got this opportunity. And I just want to take this time to thank the 5 of you for allowing me to do that.
Thank you, Patrick.
Thank you. It is really crazy on this like slapdash Final Fantasy homebrew that we did 4 years ago, and now we have a podcast enjoyed by dozens.
Dozens.
It's good.
Well, it's listened to by thousands, but enjoyed by a few, select few, a group.
Ironically, a Final Fantasy based Pathfinder campaign.
Yep.
Yeah.
Fantasy
Absolutely.
right now.
Yeah, that's why I brought it up.
When we were first like ideating about it, we were sort of like thinking about names, and I think sort of the very early working title was Space Magic, and I put together the worst logo that's ever been put together.
Oh, we got to find that. The fans got to have that.
But it does involve the Buster Sword, which I was very pleased
I
with.
wish I could find like, the list of like silly names that we did before we settled on, because
we still have it. It's still in my Google Docs.
Yeah.
It's an Excel document.
good
somewhere.
because like I think Cosmic Crit was like it was one of the final contenders. I mean, obviously it's the one that won out, but like there was some other ones that I think some of us felt strongly about.
Well, yeah, my suggestion and my leading favorite for a while was rockets and robots, right? Or no, what was it?
Was it Rockets and Renegades?
No, it was something close to that, but it was, I mean, basically, Androids and Aliens, another amazing Starfinder podcast.
But like more than a year than
right,
like more than a year before they even created their
just
podcast.
I like ampersands in titles.
I know we've probably mentioned this before, but I just want to tease her for a second. Hey, Rebecca, what was your character's name in the FF campaign?
It was Astoria Lattimore. Thank you very much.
Astoria, Alindra, Zinnia, Talara.
Oh my gosh, are you serious?
Well, Astoria, technically 4 syllables, not
So
3
yeah,
syllables.
in the creation of
it's
the
really
characters.
close.
What
Really
a breakaway from the norm.
Rebecca opined while making Zinnia that she always used multisyllabic characters, 3 specifically, that ended in A. And it's funny that it is a tradition that has gone before this show.
Forever. I mean, it's literally been forever. It's before this podcast ever existed.
I mean, I flat out just copied and pasted the name of my last character.
and I'm always my guy's always terrible. I mean, my main character in that campaign literally betrayed everybody, and you guys killed him. So it was pretty fun.
Yeah, you did. You sack of fleam.
Wait, I don't remember that way.
Yeah, because remember he died and got brought back to life, and then he tried to kill me for some reason.
Oh,
that we still didn't figure out.
Well, you deserved it, clearly.
I definitely did. But it was one of those things.
The best thing was because the Pathfinder Final Fantasy rules are so broken. Like my character, like at one point, like one hit a boss, and it was the most wonderful thing in the entire world.
Yeah, I think you'd have to be a pretty beefed up Solarian in this game in order to
even come close
to crit a boss. Well, yeah, that's Pathfinder rules. They have things like ×3 multipliers and stuff like that. Whereas here, it's never going to get more than double. Speaking of which, we should probably get back into Starfinder.
Let's do it.
Like I said, we're at that halfway point. Back to another episode this week, and before we get into the action, we got to turn to our Raxolite detective for a recap of what happened last time on Cosmic Crit.
Just another case in the mixed up files of Sprouts Marlowe, plant investigator. We're off to the north to find the 2nd Battalion squad and try to find some Halaxian priests north of Linmari. What my squad doesn't know is I'm on a different path. I need to find out where my partner got to at SQ Penitentiary. And the escaped prisoners that tried to ambush us gave me some intel. Seems like our mark, the android Andia, broke out, is running free with a rough crew. Another pit stop saw us saving an evacuating couple from some more swarm dredgers. We beat bad the bub brutes, began to bag it out there, with a couple telling us the problems of Linmari. All this sounds like a rotten core of an already wormed apple, and I don't like it. Someone is going to talk, and I aim to ask the questions of what's going on.
Yes, indeedy do. And indeed, the last thing that we did on the episode after you guys beat back the dredgers What's I told you all? You leveled up.
Yeah.
Level 2. And indeed, that is where we are at currently with 1,350 experience currently under your guys' belts. You need 1,300 to get to level 2 in Starfinder.
Right, so 50 on the way to level 3.
Just there. Yes, exactly. As is tradition on this podcast, every time you guys level up, we take a little bit of time at the following episode start to kind of go around the horn and talk about your characters, talk about the abilities you're taking at the level up, and what it is you're excited to play with moving forwards. At the very least, just one thing. If you want to highlight multiples, that's fine, but one main thing. So as this is the first time that we leveled up with these characters, don't have a set schedule here. Who wants to go first?
I'll go. I'm
Oh.
raising my hand.
Oh, Rebecca. What's happening with Xenia?
So she is an operative. So, of course, she gets a lot of skill ranks, and that's all very exciting. I get evasion, all that stuff. But I also got my first operative exploit. So I got to choose something special for my operative. And I went with what I was planning to go with from the very beginning, Alien Archive, which will give me a +2, I think, to my trick attack if I can identify the creature first. So I thought that would dovetail very nicely with my xenobiologist scholar. What theme is that? What that's called? With her being a scientist and studying the swarm and identifying them anyway, might as well tap into that bonus. So that's what I went with for my exploit.
Alien Archive is a pretty great name for it, but it works for any operative, and it's a great bonus if, like your character is wont to do, is able to identify everything. You get not only vital information, but you get a bonus on those trick attacks, which is great.
And yeah, I mean, it doubles my operative's edge. Maybe this is what you just said, but it doubles my operative's edge bonus on that skill check to identify even. So it potentially makes it so that I can learn even more about these weird creatures that we're coming across. So.
Yeah. So level 2, your operative's edge is 1 currently, right?
Yes.
So you get a nice little an additional +1 bonus for any of those skill checks to identify stuff. A lot of it is going to be life science in this AP. I'm not going to lie to you. A lot of
that's lucky for me.
Animal
biology.
Yeah. Excellent. Who wants to go second?
Oh, I'll go because I have a lot going on. So Echo 7 is a bombardier soldier, and soldiers at level 2 get a combat feat.
Oh yeah, you're gonna get a lot of feats.
Yeah, get used to that.
Yeah.
True.
So I picked up weapon focus, so I get a flat +1 to all of my power weapon attacks, which will be kind of nice at these levels.
Right. So with
better.
weapon focus, you pick a weapon type, correct?
Correct.
So heavy weapons.
So I picked heavy weapons because that's what he's using right now. You can then get versatile focus down the line, which will apply to all weapon types that you have proficiency with, at least. But that is a feat for another day.
Cool. And Echo 7's a little tougher now, like everyone else.
Oh yeah, he's a beefy boy now. Almost double HP and SP. Whew.
Excellent. Who is next?
I'll go.
Another operative. Here we are.
Like Rebecca, I get some skills and some evasion, but I chose for my exploit uncanny mobility. This is something that ties into kind of what Sprouts has been dealing with a little bit, is if he's not riding on somebody, something might kind of team up on him. He needs to kind of be able to book it, not just do a half step. So what this allows me to do is when I make a trick attack, if I choose the target of my attack before I move, my movement won't provoke attacks of opportunity from that target.
Pretty useful one, especially for Sprouts, who has no melee capabilities. You're not able to switch up like a Xenia and pull out a baton. You're always going to be shooting, so you gotta get away from them.
Exactly. So I can be like, well, I'm definitely going to be hitting that guy, and then I'm going to haul booty, and then I can use my trick attack because now I have +1 BAB, so I can not be punished.
I'm not gonna lie, a lot of the creatures in the Attack of the Swarm are going to just run straight up to you and will be meleeing. So this is probably gonna see some use. I'm not gonna lie. Excellent. Sprouts getting tougher. Sprouts has not taken much damage so far since leaving Rio City, right?
Right. So far.
You're basically up to full. which is nice. Awesome. It looks like Tyler and Jabert are conferring amongst themselves as to who is going to go next. Was that Tyler?
Yeah, Jabert's trying to steal the spotlight, but we've never had a mystic, and he needs to dovetail this with something interesting. Because if it ends on me, it's going to be like, I have a stellar revelation that gives me a +1 to damage.
Well, I can't wait to wow you all with what I get.
You get another revelation, Tyler. How is that going to be boring?
Oh, because it just gives me, I have to spend a move action to get +1 to damage to one creature. I mean, it's really boring right now.
What is this called?
This is from Calm, Character Operations, and it's called A Blade in the Night. But what's nice is when I'm attuned, it's actually +1 damage every 4 levels of Solarian. So when we get to the higher levels, this will be actually a pretty decent bonus. But for now, yawn. It exists. It's nice. It's
okay.
More.
So yeah, this scales with you. That is pretty nice. At 4th level, it gets what, +2 damage?
Yeah, as long as I'm attuned. Absolutely.
Yeah, you're a bomber, man. You're all about that the damage.
Yeah, it's really nice when you're only rolling a 1d3. Getting max damage is kind of frequent, I guess.
Yeah.
So that's kind of fun.
Yeah, minimum
3
damage.
times.
It's like whatever if you get that guaranteed. Oh, Jabert did the math. Oh boy.
Oh god. No, I'm just embarrassed.
Jabert, bring us home with Trest. What is happening level 2?
All right. Get ready, everybody. I get Mind Link as a spell-like ability.
Ooh.
Yeah. Once per day, I can cast a level 1 spell.
An additional level 1 spell?
Well, no, I can't. No, so it's not that good. I don't get more level 1 spells. Don't get it twisted. I get a special spell-like ability where I can cast Mind Link.
Ooh.
So basically, that's some creature you touch, you can confer like 10 minutes of information to them instantly. And so that's level 2.
That's it?
I mean,
you got spells, right?
I learned another 1st level spell. I get 3 of those per day, and now I know 4 of them. So like, don't worry about that. You won't be seeing that ever.
Well, what did you take?
I picked up Battle Mind Link Lesser. It lasts for minutes per level. You can cast it on 2 creatures, and if combat starts within that duration, then they each roll their initiative normally, but they take the higher of each other's die rolls and then apply their own bonuses to it, and they get a +2 to their initiative.
Oh, I don't like this at all. Giving someone like an operative's initiative roll.
But it's the die roll, right? So, so it's not the bonus. You don't get the bonus. Yeah, you keep your own bonus. Wow. So it's like, yeah, it's a little. It's not the most exciting.
I want to see it in practice. So let's get to this episode.
You won't.
Get no, everyone has to use their level 2 abilities.
Okay.
No matter what, back into the action this week. You guys are back on the road after saving the Newlises, the human couple that was escaping from Linmari and heading down to Rio City. And about an hour or so back up the road, just watching the endless snow-covered plains of Sator region roll by. You do see like another civilian vehicle heading southbound in the opposite direction, but besides that, it is very quiet out here. The roads are absolutely dead. Mind you, it was the previous day when the evacuation order went out, so a lot of people have already left this region. Raz Jungat, your prisoner, emancipated prisoner and friend now, is going to try to take his mind off of his dredger wound. He took a massive claw attack in that fight. Try to take his mind off it by making some small talk. He explains that he was what, Tyler?
Sorry, I wasn't ready for the Raz RP this episode. You've thrown me off like 5 minutes into the actual gameplay.
Well, you should have just murdered him, because now he's my GMPC in this campaign. Remember when he tried to attack that dredger and missed? That was great.
Unless he makes a wrong move.
Oh, no, this is Jellic Folsom all over again.
First it was Ralkawi. than it was the Jellic and the kid.
Yeah,
in the,
but Rob
in the
Colley was
bathroom.
kind of cool. Anyway, Raz explains that he was in prison for stealing, but he was trying to rip off a dirty starship dealer named Gar Malgero. Devasho, when this happens, your ears prick up as you seem to remember that name. But does Tyler remember the name?
Gal Valgero?
Gar Malgero.
Gar Malgero. That's the guy who we got the Dauntless from? He was the guy who owned the junkyard where the Dauntless is from, right?
Oh no, that's a different campaign altogether.
Dang it! I was trying to make two links.
Maybe he's been out there before. He is indeed a starship dealer. He was the guy your Callow boss was meeting in orbit around Ultranius 6 months ago. The slimy human.
Oh,
businessman
that's right. That's
from episode 117. So you don't really know him, but you've heard of him before. Anyway, Raz tells you that he was looking to steal a secret cache from Mr. Malgero's supposed safe that he kept on his personal pleasure cruiser, but after failing to break into it, the gangster had it moved for refits and had poor Raz sent to prison for what he did.
Well, that is good to know that your crime was, even if you had succeeded, would be victimless. I would not weep a minute over that individual's lost finances.
It would have been a real sweet payoff, but I got caught. And, oh boy, they beat me within an inch of my life before they turned me over to the authorities.
And now you're with us. I do not feel like your situation has improved much over time.
Well, you guys didn't kill me, so that is also a positive.
You're a very positive person, Raz. I appreciate that.
Kind of gotta be these days, you know? Kind of gotta. As you all are driving on further Trest, you begin to see some images out there in the white plains, daydreaming. The rest of you might be getting glimpses psychically of the Sheeran's innermost thoughts. We see through the Sheeran's mind's eye, maybe a psychic recreation of a small Sheeran child and some other Sheeran in a Hylaxian robes years ago, very similar to the dream you had the prior night. Here we see priests kind of sprinkling ashes around your feet, singing songs, very faint psychic songs into your minds. Trest remembers the ceremony well. Many years ago, the frustration of not being able to tell what words they were singing to you, as they purposely made them very distant, very melodic, but hard to pick out. Even now, as you roll through the hills leading to the Jurdos Mountains, back where these ceremonies went on, you can hear that same faint music of the Hylaxian priestesses in your mind. But that is cut off violently as you're jolted awake when you recall the sound of the swarm beast in Brnoa that let out its psychic blast interrupts your daydreaming, and you suddenly become wide awake in the rear of the SDF hardtop or in the cab, wherever you're at.
Imagine it's sort of like when you're sort of just beginning to drift off to sleep, and you sort of hear like a scream in your mind, and you sort of just all of a sudden your heart's pounding.
You do that thing where you hit your knee on like the desk or on the dash.
Also like that.
Yeah.
But everyone else here, including Raz, sorry, it's like a psychic emanation, a nighttime emanation, is getting like bits and pieces that, just like in your mind. You get little pieces of Trest all up in your mind.
Like little crumbs. Like you're all eating Trest crackers.
Oh yeah. Well, it's like you're eating the crackers, but yeah, they are indeed.
We're getting
Captain's Trest.
And not all at the same time either. So like if Devasho tries to talk to Sprouts about it, he's like, whoa, what are you talking about? And then later on the same thing. But it does seem like there's like a connection. You've not really had this happen before Trest, where you're unable to kind of control your psychic thoughts.
This is most unpleasant.
Do we have some inkling that it's coming from Trest? Like we know that it's him, or not really sure what it is?
These images are of a very young Sheeran. You can barely make out that it is the same like color, the same bluish chitin that Trest has. But between the prior night's dream, you get that weird deja vu feeling when this is happening on the road, and can kind of put two and two together, just about everybody now. So if anybody wants to confront Tress or kick him out of the hardtop, do whatever you want. Chipper has to play Raz gun chat now.
Do a survivor vote out right here. You are.
You're the weakest link, and also you're making us think of sad stuff. Get out of here.
Well, maybe melancholy more than sad.
Mm-hmm.
I think Xenia would be interested from a biology standpoint of this is strange for her to be experiencing and hasn't studied anything of this nature, I guess. I mean, she's familiar with some of the swarm's ability to connect with each other and communicate in that way, but she personally has not been, the receiver of such images. So I think she would be interested in talking to him about it.
Well, actually, make me a life science check, because Xenia, you're all about the science.
Yeah.
Things. Tell me what you get.
It's a 14, but there is a -5 to the DC if it's life science. I mean, xenobiology.
If it's xenobiology, yeah. So I'm actually going to add that in here, because the way that these psychic emanations are coming, it does seem like an autonomous. It does seem like he is actively trying to think these things at you. A shared psychic image, while it's happening to various people at the same time. That is what the swarm does. They have every single swarm, a psychic ability where they are in constant communication with one another. They have the capability of chaining that psychic communication as well over the range of whatever psychic links that they have. So that the massive host of dredgers that you saw, if they were spread out over a mile, they could psychically communicate nearly simultaneously over that entire distance if they have enough space. And it's one of their main abilities, the swarm's main abilities. And it kind of is similar to what's happening with Trest here, but not really. Obviously, he's a sentient person, but he is kind of communicating with all of you at the same time. And I don't know if that links up Trooper to Mind Link and your Battle Link abilities now, but you do feel like your powers are growing, or at least a little different right now.
Yeah, I think that a lot of, not to sort of get too out of character, but I think that a lot of Trest's abilities do sort of focus around either psychokinesis or telekinesis or telepathy, that sort of thing.
Right.
I think Trest would probably process that. If somebody were to bring it up to him, I think Trest would probably process that as something akin to being told that he's talking in his sleep. And so, I mean, obviously, it's a little different from that. I mean, talking in your sleep is a little less. It's a little different from like sharing your actual dreams with other people.
Sure, but it's not intentional in the same way, right? Like it's like, okay, that's great that you're hearing my thoughts, but it's not like I'm sending them to you. Sorry about that,
Right, yeah.
I will say that us here on the podcast might have a similar set of experiences, though your characters don't know this, with Miles's character in season 2. Wynn was able to create seemingly like psychic mindscapes that a few times you guys were able to step into as well. That, of course, was very intentional kind of towards the end of the campaign, where you guys shared his psychic visions that he had.
This is just like my past life when I was a bear.
When I was a giant blue bear.
Back before I was a flower, I was a bear, see? Yeah. The psychic circle of life, see?
Anyway, before we get on too far of a psychic tangent, before you guys, as you continue, the highway here begins to run alongside a frozen river, and you see a very large industrial site off to the side. Some metallic looking smokestacks stretching into the grim overcast sky, built on the far bank of this river. Behind a stretch of chain link fence, you see signs that mark this place as the Greater Sator Waterworks. As you're passing by up ahead, there's a small bridge branching off from the highway that crosses the river. At the gated fence there, there's a small guard building in front of that gate. The ice and snow lay heavy on the ground next to this road. And as you are driving past it, you guys hear a laser blast, gunfire, coming from that direction. It does strike the hard top. It doesn't seem like it's strong enough to penetrate the armor, but I need Zinnia to go ahead and make me a piloting check for this frightening interruption. You're going to have to keep control of the vehicle on this icy road.
That's a 29.
Holy free holy.
She's from Minnesota.
A super 19 on the dice. That's going to do it. DC 16 here. You retain control of vehicle, slow it down to a safe pace as you are not at all shocked by your vehicle taking fire. Maybe you've piloted some other vehicles that have come under
In recent memory, I have.
acid blast attack. Yeah. I don't think you
Compared
guys
to a
have
missile.
any of those.
Well, she grew up on Triaxis, don't you know?
During the cold times.
Cannon, everyone from Triaxis. That's a Minnesotan accent.
It's the planet of Minnesota.
They bring hot dish in the winters, but in the summers they bring the cold dish.
Yeah, I can't imagine the warm Traxians sounding like that. They got to be like,
So is that what Dragonkin sound like? Isn't that what
oh no,
where they're from?
No, they do.
Oh yeah,
Oh yeah.
yeah.
ice dragons for sure.
Don't you know?
that I will.
All right, everybody, we got to go find a dragon.
You could have played a Dragonkin. No one's stopping you. Season 8. Right, as you slow down, you are able to hear some more laser blasts that sound like they're striking the roadside in short succession. Pew, pew, pew. There's some shouting, and you can tell it is coming from that guard booth on the other side of the bridge. What would you guys like to do?
I mean, can't we just keep going?
I mean,
Have to
those
stop.
clearly these people need our help. No one shoots lasers for fun.
Miles, that is an option. It'll be a very short episode, though.
Then keep on keeping on.
All right, to be continued. See you later, folks.
Well, we did receive orders to tell civilians to get out of the area. If this is the waterworks and there's a guard there, we can assume that at least someone here is a civilian, right? Because they're working for the waterworks.
Actually, make me an engineering check. Anybody that wants to, I can give you more information about that specific blast.
No surprise. I don't think I put any points into engineering in level 2.
That's a 25 from Xenia.
Oh, surprise, surprise.
That's a 6 from Echo 7.
Xenia, you are able to tell specifically that high-pitched whine is indeed an SDF-issued weapon. Laser pistol or laser rifle, you weren't able to tell, but it is definitely of military grade.
Echo 7, made by engineering, but cannot engineer.
Yeah. We
Can
don't have
Sprout
to call out everyone's natural 2 or natural 3. We don't have to do that, Tyler.
Hey, you do that to me all the time.
Yeah,
It's literally every episode.
I said we don't have to, but we will.
I mean, that's why we call him
That's
Tyler Toot Pierce.
All right. Xenia is going to speak up and say, that's another soldier over there. We need to help them.
All right,
And she'll turn the car. She's driving anyway. She doesn't have to tell anybody.
Can Sprouse just like grab a megaphone and just hop on top of the roof and just tell them to leave, like to evacuate? Like we just have to tell them to evacuate. We're not there to pick them up, right?
Well, that depends. That depends. Do you have a megaphone?
Oh, burn.
Ooh, not in the.
I'm sure it does.
Well, and not only that, but it's hard to evacuate when you're being shot at. I mean, I assume it is. I haven't experienced that personally, but
I have, and it's not that hard.
You can do it.
All right, let's go help.
Let's
all
help
right.
them.
I've taken you guys to the map here. You can pop out of the vehicle. Obviously, behind you, Raz Gunjet, wounded, is going to bring out his baton and follow behind. Like,
No, Raz, go back. Raz, go back to the truck.
No. Out in front.
Yeah, I want to help, guys.
He's like our canary in the mine.
No. Devasha will be out in front. At least have Raz stand behind.
Sprouts is probably going to hop on top of Echo 7.
Xenia is going to fly.
Ooh, okay. So flying above this bridge, this icy bridge here.
Yeah, just about 15 feet in the air.
Oh my gosh, what is happening?
You guys are moving each other around there. Okay,
I
so
know.
getting in position here on the bridge. You see over here to the northeast this guards station. And as you get closer to it, you can see that there's a humanoid figure inside there. Stepping out immediately as you guys approach is what looks like a Lashuntan man. I will blow this art up a little bit so you show you.
It looks like Shrek.
Oh no! Oh no! Miles.
Somebody once told me the world is going lonely.
I mean, he's like yellow. Oh.
He looks like Shrek. Oh.
Let's drill down. Let's get into this.
It's like Rule 34.
What are you doing on my bridge?
If you tell me that his friend a donkey shows up next, I'm going to marry you, Patrick. I'm going to marry you.
The Sprouts will hop back in the car by himself if that happens.
I'm going on a merry adventure with Shrek and Donkey.
And to get their Minnesota Nice Dragon.
It's a little racist. This is just a regular looking Lashuntan male.
Well, to be fair, the hair is a little like Fiona's hair, so
Yeah.
Maybe
combination of the two.
I don't remember Alindra looking that sickly of a color.
Well, there's multiple different colors that Lashuntans, like humans, can be. Miles, does everyone have to be the same color? And
I don't know jack about Lashuntas.
Well, Miles, you see, Lashuntans are like onions.
Oh boy.
They've got
I like how we've said Lashunta like 3 different ways. I think it is just
I know.
Lashunta. I have said Lashuntan many a time, but maybe both are correct. Anyway, this guy comes out. It's funny you mentioned his hair because he does look disheveled. His eyes are wild, and he is waving a laser pistol in the air above his head. And as he sees you all, he says, "You there? What are you standing around for? Help me kill them! They're everywhere! We're being overrun, and we gotta push them back!"
Can I see anything?
Around him?
Yeah.
Make me a perception check.
Can we all make perception?
You can indeed, but I can tell you right now, you don't. 16 and a 20 we've rolled so far here. You guys don't see anything besides him. He does begin to just fire his pistol kind of erratically into the ground around him. He seems to be seeing something here, though.
So maybe something is burrowing underground.
Patrick, does this seem like this might be a mysticism related thing? Like he's either under a spell or
It might
he's
be.
gone crazy?
It's potentially that, but I can tell you right now, it is also potentially dangerous, which means we got to roll up into initiative.
Okay.
Everyone.
I think I would like to make a mysticism check once I get to. Oh my gosh, I rolled another 18.
Oh my gosh, Echo.
I don't know what we're shooting at, but I will be shooting.
Right here, too.
Oh my gosh, you guys and your beefy initiative rolls.
Oh boy, it does seem like Echo 7 and Sprouts have rolled really high here. Maybe you all should ride on one another's shoulders. Excellent. Okay, I have rolled a natural 1 on initiative for our Lashunta friend. I have rolled a 16 for Raz Gunjack.
Good job, Raz.
He's going pretty high up in that initiative
Little
turn.
razzmatazz.
But first is Drew with Echo 7. What would you like to do here?
Echo is going to move here, and I guess Sprouts is coming with me.
Move into the side of Tress, get a clear shot.
Just to get a clear shot, just to get a clearer look at what's going on. And he wants to call out to this individual, this Lashunta, fellow SDF officer, please explain the situation. We would endeavor to help, but we need more information.
If you want to help, shoot them. They're everywhere, and I can't stop them all.
We don't see anything, guy.
He can barely hear you over his own distress, his screaming, and he's shooting. Is there anything else you want to do, Drew? The checks.
So I did perception. I don't think I have anything else I can do. Let me try to intimidate him to stand down.
Sure.
Just to stop firing for a second.
Go right ahead.
Ooh, good roll.
So 23.
What does Echo 7 say?
Stand down, son. We've got to figure out what is going on over here.
What do you mean? We can't let them win. We can't let them take us.
We will not let them win, but you need to settle yourself down and get a hold of this situation. We are here to assist, and you will fall in line. Do you understand?
I mean, he kind of looks like he's paying attention to you. Perhaps, he just might need a little more intimidation, a little more encouragement, one way or the other. Miles, do you have an action with Sprouts here next?
I guess I'll try to roll some intimidation too. It's a 17.
What does Sprouts say? Got the intimidate bros.
Well, so if he needs more intimidation, Sprouts is just basically like, one bad move out of you and I'll put you on your back for good.
What? No. Why would you do that?
You get over here and you tell us what's going on.
He indeed, after that, will drop his pistol and run over to you guys.
I mean, you don't drop his weapon. Jeez.
Well, he's been firing wildly. I'd prefer he drop the weapon.
Yeah, no, that's good.
You
It's
hear
fine.
him click the pistol a couple of times, and it's like, whoa. He's running over here, maybe grab one of your guns. Rez Jungat, of course, will move right up to him and just murder him with a natural 20 attack.
Yeah, okay.
That's a joke.
Oh, okay. I was like,
Rez.
what?
No, Rez, what are you doing? No, after that, he just comes over and is like blubbering, his head in his hands. Like, no, that's not right. That's not right. Please protect me. We are out of combat because all it takes here is a couple of intimidate checks, and you guys have made them both.
Hey.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you have
Well done.
basically kowtowed him and taken him kind of out of his element. He's like shaking his head, maybe stroking, pulling his antenna like he's pulling on his hair. What do you guys like to do?
Can I try that mysticism check?
Yeah, go right ahead.
Devasha would also like to consult with Drest on this.
What'd you roll?
My individual roll was an 18. I rolled a 12 on the dice.
I mean, he definitely, if it wasn't magical in nature, it might have been psychological in nature, because he seemed like he was looking at real things on the ground around him, like in the air, and firing at them. None of you see anything around him right now.
Can I talk to him?
Yeah, what do you want to say?
Good work, soldier. We held him off. Now tell us what was going on. What sort of things were attacking? What was the situation at this particular outpost?
Well, we were. I was overrun. They were everywhere.
Settle down. What's your name, son? What's your name?
Oh, I'm Suthres Cesaro, private, sir, 2nd Battalion.
How long you been? How long you been with the battalion here?
5 months. I got separated from my squad, I guess. I was. There were swarm everywhere. You didn't see them. They were.
Oh, we've seen plenty of swarm. It's okay. Let's just settle down a little bit and let's talk about what happened. Can you tell us about any particular swarm that stood out to you? Anything that maybe you never saw before?
He moves like to you guys and then kind of like loses his balance, kind of steadies himself on Trest Devasho, and you guys feel like a shock of psychic energy pass through you as he grips onto your Trest, makes a connection. He'll say, I saw all the dredgers, all the swarm were just here, but I'm having trouble. They were just psychic ghosts. If you all couldn't see them, maybe they were just in my mind. I got separated from my squad. We drove further north, and I just kept seeing the swarm everywhere, and I was getting erratic. So I told my squad to continue on with the mission without me. They're heading up to find a Hylaxian priest in the mountains, and I wasn't doing them any good. So I told them I'd stay here and try and straighten my head out.
Tell me, when was this? How long ago did you last see them?
I mean, I've been here about a day or so. They left a day before last on the mission.
Patrick, did the team before us leave approximately a day-ish before us?
Yeah, this is definitely a member of the 2nd Battalion squad that you are looking for.
Okay. Well, it's good that we found you, Private. We were all very concerned for your well-being.
Well, what are you talking about?
We were sent up here to see if your squad needed some assistance. We are glad to see that you are safe. We are also to bring this priest back safely so that they may be escorted off of the planet.
Well, do you have word from a squad?
I am sorry to say that we do not. That is one of the reasons why we have been sent.
Now. We have been out of communications range. We cannot say for any certainty what is going on. The higher-ups, you know how the brass is. They sent us out thinking, we know what? We better just be safe. We better just be careful. This priest is way too important. We're here for backup. That doesn't mean anything.
I mean, it's been more than a day since they left. I mean, they should be back by now. It's not that far of a drive. I hope they're all right. I didn't want to slow them down, and I was having a lot of trouble. But if you all are heading up that way, I can travel with you if you want. But I mean, I'm still worried. If I have another episode, I'm worried I'll cause more harm than good.
Would you feel more comfortable if we tied you up?
Definitely not. That would probably trigger a couple of panic attacks just in that action. Maybe you can take my weapon for now.
Yes, that is perhaps for the best.
Do we have any sedatives? Anything that we could use to just put this guy to sleep?
Don't think you have any sedatives. You had those stems.
We have the opposite.
We can wake him up.
Yeah, just give him a real jolting 5-hour energy.
A real goose.
Goop him up.
Does Trust have any ability to, with the psychic powers or whatever, to help calm things down?
Could you mind
Should something flare up again?
Trust can sort of do his best to, talk him down and sort of talk to him about his experience, where he's from, how long he's been with people, and sort of do that sort of thing.
Could you use Mind Link to fill his head with calming images for 10 minutes?
I could fill his head with something. I don't know.
Boy,
I don't know how comforting it would be, but
Tress, tell me a story.
I touch him on the arm, and then it's approximately a 10-minute long story, and
take it.
But it all happens very instantly.
And he's got a nosebleed now. I don't know what that's about.
Well,
as you guys are heading back to the vehicle, he'll agree to go with you if you want him. He will talk to you, Trest, and as a fellow psychic, both Sheeran and Lashunta have the limited telepathy. He'll talk to you like in your mind and says it's something wrong with the swarm here on Suskelin. They must have some kind of psychic weapon and are using it, because the last few days since the invasion, this new invasion force touched down in the east, all I could hear was them saying over and over and over again psychically the same 3 words over and over and over. They just kept saying in Sheeran, Hylax will know, just repeatedly, and that's all I've been able to think about. Have you heard that? Hylax will know.
I have not.
I mean, it's been driving me crazy. Every encounter we've had has been the same thing. Anyway, I think like I said, if you take my weapons, and he sees that you, Trest, as well, are in like the medical corps. You've got like that badge. He is also. He says, let me help supply you all up. If you're helping my squad, then least I could do is try and help yours. Take my medical bag. It's like a little duffel bag he's got with him, and inside is a dermal stapler, basic med kit, 2 med patches, 5 serums of healing, as well
Nice.
as a little magical item. It looks like a pendant shaped like the holy symbol of Saren Ray with a red jewel at its center.
And we can toss that over the bridge.
Well, why don't you?
Yes, no one here likes Saren Ray, so
No, I'm pretty sure she would not like me in my current form.
Why don't you make me a mysticism check as you see this item?
yeah. Oh well, that's not ideal. A 10.
Yeah, 10 for Tress.
20?
20 for Devasho is, for some reason you have some kind of link to this Serenray item. You know this to be a magical item known as a recovery Aegis.
These are dope.
Yeah, they are pretty great. In the armory, page 115, Suthreth says, I got the symbol of Serenray after hearing a great Serenite speak in the Citadel of the Sun in the Burning Archipelago. It was a famous adventurer and icon known as Edros Pharaonis.
Oh,
Perhaps this Aegis will keep one of you safe.
That guy sounds like a real nerd.
No way, he beats people up. He's super cool.
Oh, really? Wow, that's pretty neat.
I mean, we should say what it does. The recovery Aegis is indeed a magically worn item, and it gives you a bonus to saving throws against effects that you're already suffering, like an ongoing effect.
plus you can use it to stabilize without spending resolve points.
Yes. You can.
So
This sounds like a Devasha
It doesn't
thing.
like a Devasha thing.
Tress, I mean, it's a frontline fighter thing. Like Tress
It
can
is.
take it.
Well, Tress
can-
can cantrip to stabilize. Does that work on
No,
himself?
not himself.
Doesn't
Not
work on
himself.
himself. Doesn't work on
Not-
himself.
Not if you're unconscious, but yeah, it is a one use for that stabilization, because if you do use it to stabilize, it cracks this red, almost ruby like gem in the center.
Well, I would thank him very much for the assistance, and we'll make sure this is all cataloged and distributed to the squad and put to good use.
I have heard of this device, and Edros. Many Solarians are familiar with one of his companions as well. I believe her name was Alindra.
Oh, I don't know of this Alindra. Was she famous as well for something?
Yes, she was a unique Solarian, very powerful.
Oh, crazy.
A mouse was there too.
You're a rat, number one, you dummy.
He's a sucky.
But also, it's fitting for Devasha to talk about Alindra because they're both Solarians.
Well,
Exactly.
weren't they all famous?
Yeah,
Technically.
I would say in the
Yeah.
Pact maybe, but actually Edros was an icon and was at that point level 13.
Oh, right.
Like most everywhere. When you get on Eoxian TV and become a star,
Yeah.
you're everywhere.
Yeah.
I just love that Eox is like the center of entertainment television in the universe, at least in our canon.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, Devasho has some connections to at least Eox a little bit. Plus, he's a Solarian. Plus, I always feel like when characters get up to that level, when you're talking like level 14, 15, you're a significantly powerful person. It's not Alindra could be, like a grandmaster teacher of Solarians. Essentially, they kind of become bigger deals. So I wouldn't be surprised if he had absolutely heard of her.
So you guys ready to get back on the road?
Yep.
It is not far, maybe like 20 minutes later, that you begin seeing signs for a detour you all can make, and perhaps one that Sprouts would be most interested in making. Before continuing on to Linmari, a road heads out west to the SQ Correctional Facility, also known as the Scorpion, the last known whereabouts of your Raxolite teammates, partner, Briar. Some of you have heard him talk about Briar before, or looking for another Raxolite and talking to those prisoners last week. Miles is Sprouts petitioning his team to go out there. You know that the prisoners mentioned it might be in a pretty bad state right now, as they just
I imagine he would prefer to have strength in numbers. I mean, he's typically a solitary gumshoe, but he's also not a moron. Mm-hmm. And it would be very stupid for him to try to break off in the midst of a planet-wide evacuation.
Yeah.
To go by himself.
So what would Sprout say to the squad here? Try to get him to make a slight detour.
Were there any people from the army that were over there? Because I know that you had mentioned that there were some people heading that way at some point in time.
Well, kind of up here to the north, no. There was a breakout from a riot and a prison escape from what you've gathered. There could still be people at the penitentiary. You don't know
Yeah.
if everyone got out. So, I mean, that could be a reason. No one specifically from the SDF. But
Okay. Well, then Sprouts would probably go along the lines of, if there was a breakout, there's probably injured officers and people who can't evacuate. We should probably head that way.
Devasho would stick his big head in after he hears that and say,
Yes, we need to get as many people as we can to the evacuation point. I agree with our small friend. We should check it out.
Yeah, I mean, you've got room probably for another 5 people in the back, even with the 2 that you've picked up here.
Oh, I totally forgot. I'm so sorry. Right before we can move on with this, we should use one of those serums. I want to take one, and I can use it too, but we should stab Raz with it.
Oh, he's down 8 hit points, by the way.
Yeah, I'll roll for Raz here, but then Rebecca, please continue. Sorry.
I forget what I was going to say. Oh, I was going to say, I wonder if there was, if there's any potential that more of the 2nd battalion could be at the correctional facility.
It's possible. Like I said, it is a detour. So if they were headed straight to the Jirdos Mountains through Lenmari,
but it's not far, right?
No, it's maybe half an hour detour.
Well, it's right up the road, and it can't hurt to help. I mean, if there's some people that are hurt in the breakout, they can't evacuate.
So if you guys are okay with that, as you turn off the main highway, it's not a few minutes before you see what looks like lingering smoke coming off of a huge complex in the distance, the penitentiary. You see also kind of that smoke, black smoke mixes with white warm air from the facility's HVAC systems, kind of makes this gray cloud above it. The main gate, seems to be buckled outward as you drive through it. And as you get to the main entrance, the reception doors are shattered open and snowdrifts have begun to accumulate inside. Do you want to leave Suthreth and Raz as you head inside?
We can leave Suthreth.
We should take Raz. He knows the place.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. He might be able to help us look around.
I don't really want to go back in there, guys. I just got out.
We didn't ask.
All right. I gotta say that healing serum, I know those are in short supply. I felt real good. This wound is almost completely healed.
I did roll a 7 for you.
I know that's the highest you're gonna roll for a serum of healing.
Can we make sure we take the keys to the truck with us so that Suthreth doesn't drive off on his own?
Yeah, I mean, I'm just going to assume that you take the keys with you every time you leave the vehicle.
I mean, I'm just
if
Drew,
you guys want
Drew,
to,
I want to know what your whole situation is with keys in your car. Like, do you just get out of your car and walk away?
He just goes to the mall and just hopes for the best.
I'm just making. I'm covering bases in case, like,
You just leave $100 bill under the windshield.
No. I'm covering bases in case we walk out of this prison and we didn't say that we took the keys. So Patrick's like, and the dude just drove off with your car, so now you're gonna walk the whole way.
I mean, it is a fair question where we're leaving a person in the car.
He's a military man. I'm sure he knows how to hotwire a car. If he wants to get gone, he's going to get gone.
Yeah, so you should probably kill him now.
Yeah,
I agree.
for sure.
No. If you guys are leaving back there, he's actually closes his eyes in the back and is going to try and sack out. He seems like he was up all night, so he was at that waterworks. Yeah, he's looking pretty haggard. And psychically communicating with Trest for the last half hour or so does seem to have calmed him down a great deal. He looks a lot better when you are leaving for the prison. And as you guys get out and make your way through the reception area, you can hear a distant alarm going off, just this constant klaxon warning echoing throughout the prison here, along with some red flashing lights of the emergency lockdown protocols. But at reception at this main desk, you do see a computer that is open. It looks like it does need to be navigated. Does anybody want to...
Sprouts wants to check it out.
give it a try?
Me too.
Computer check?
Oof. Natural one's not going to help.
A 24 from Xenia.
Sprouts, you're just there, clicking the mouse and nothing happens. But Zinnia, you are able to...
Sprouts picks up the mouse like Scotty in Star Trek 4. Like, hello, computer.
Hello, computer. You are able to crack into this and have access to what looks like a little prison map and a list of things like visitors as well as people that are incarcerated here.
Are we looking for anyone in particular? I have a list of people here.
I mean, Miles, you're looking for someone in
Sprouts?
particular, right?
Yes. Yeah. Well, heard about an android named Andia. What does it say about her?
All right, I'll look for Andia.
You do indeed find someone under that name located in the Yellow Wing, which seems to be for violent offenders. And you find her cell number marked Y14, and there's like a little map that pops up when you click on that cell. There is a note on her record as well of a recent visitor to the prison.
Who was the visitor?
Checking the log with Zinnia's help, of course, Sprouts, you can tell that the digital fingerprints of Briar are here as well. It looks like she came and visited a few weeks back.
Weeks.
Yeah.
So she wasn't even here when the breakout happened.
Do you want to head back and take a look at the cell?
Yeah.
Walking through the prison, there are a number of what looks like burnt corpses. Many of them strung up, hanging over the railings from the floor above. There's detritus, there's trash strewn everywhere as signs of the riot are all around you. You pass some more bodies and cells here that look like they were burnt while locked up. Find no living prisoners or guards. It seems to be kind of a ghost town. And it says you get to Andia's cell, you see likely what Briar saw here too when she came and visited. As looking into it, it does seem to be opened, but just through the bars, scribbled floor to ceiling are writings, pages and writing on the wall of what looks like some kind of manifesto, just like long form, multiple paragraphs. Likewise, papers are scribbled and strewn across the floor, many of them with the word "The Reckoning" written at the top. And then the only other object you see inside there is what looks like a tiny, intricate mechanical box sitting on the windowsill. What would you like to do?
Well, the first thing I want to do is kind of take a good look. I mean, I know you described everything, but I just want to take an extra look around to see if I see possibly any clues or anything that would be hidden, like, to the layman.
Make me a perception check, even before you enter.
That's just 11.
Yeah, no. With that, you're basically just seeing what you can see from outside. It does seem like there are some walls that you can't see from the inside or from the hallway. You'd have to explore inside.
Well, then he's going to check out that little silver box.
Anyone else want to go in with Sprouts, or do you want to?
Yeah, can we also roll perception before we walk in?
Yeah, go right ahead.
The large creature will stay outside.
This is made indeed for...
Zinnia got a 23 on perception.
Zinnia rolling rocks tonight.
It's actually plus 2 if it's dim or dark. Is it dim or dark in here?
It is at this point, as it's kind of in this lockdown procedure.
Let's not be too much of a show off, Rebecca.
Oh boy.
That's the guy who rolled a 1.
Echo 7 rolled a 1. Yeah, call him out, Tyler.
Don't worry, I'm on it. I'm on this.
I'm actually does Echo 7 have, I know he's an exoskeleton, but does he have the ability to take pictures at all with like his screen or anything?
I mean, he's got a built-in like communications deal.
Well, because Sprouts was going to kind of like signal to him to kind of take photos of like the manifesto and stuff written on the wall so they could kind of look at it later.
If anyone has a comm unit or a data pad, it has that functionality.
Yeah, I mean, yes, Echo 7 has a built-in comm unit. So
you're just like click, 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 tapping your forehead. Right. So I will say with that perception check, Zinnia, you are able to just grab little Sprouts before he's able to push the door all the way in. There seems to be like a simple latch, like almost someone has put like a bucket above the door frame here that seems to be linked to a plastic jug filled with what seems like perhaps an accelerant of some kind. And there's a little light source right there, like a small ever burning looking candle.
Wow, they took the bucket of water above the door trick to the next
it's like
level.
Home Alone in hell.
Well, I mean, After seeing that, and from what you've seen in the rest of the prison here, it does seem like this might have been what burnt multiple people in their cells. So this cruel trap. But now that you see it, it is something that you can try and disable before.
Well, first he looks up at Zinnia and just says, "Good looking out, thanks."
Oh yeah, that 11 you rolled was not enough.
Yeah. So yeah, do we have to roll anything specific to disarm it, or can we just just go in?
This will be a fairly simple engineering check. Now there's, well, I say it is a little dangerous because if you roll low, you could set off the trap. But what have you rolled, Miles?
18.
Okay. Whew, all right. You've made it, and you are able to just detach that jug. So you can open up the door, and it does seem like it is maybe a mix of vehicle fuel and maybe some kind of
like homemade gasoline kind of stuff.
Yeah, I was about to say some kind of chemical accelerant, but it would have burnt and
like styrofoam
here,
like styrofoam dissolved in gasoline.
Yeah, but there's nobody in the cell when you do get inside, so you're not sure who is this here for. But as you guys enter, something else happens as you hear a metallic whirring noise, a little ticking sound as this metallic box springs forth from the shelf, just kind of pops up, and it stands on little robotic legs, and little arm blades come out as its face appears from the top of the box, and walks up right next to Sprouts and is standing about as tall as the little Raxolite and says, "To all non-believers, death comes first." We are in initiative turn order.
Oh my goodness! It's a murder
I thought it was a puzzle box. I was really excited about it.
I was super stoked for like some sort of clue.
Yeah, it is a puzzle. The only solution is death.
Oh, it is a clue. It's a clue to how much it's going to kill you guys. Oh boy, we've got some. We've had some things happen in this show, but this
Dude, I
something
rolled 3 18s on the last 3 initiatives,
Nice.
and I'm still nowhere near the top, aren't I? Just barely making it. Just
It's okay. Didn't do quite as well this time.
You guys are still rolling pretty well. I am going to roll a Raz Gunjet in, even though he's out in the hallway as well. So it might be
he's out there with Damasho.
Oh yeah, I've rolled a 4 on the dice.
He's out there Bill Pullman style. Game over. Game over.
Sprouts sees this thing popping down the shelf, and you are able to act first. It is right on top of you, though. What would you like to do?
Well, I'm gonna target it obviously for my trick attack, and then I'm gonna move away. So, are we able to move? Is this whole square the room?
Yes. So it is. It actually looks like maybe a couple prisoners were in here, but it is about 15 feet by 25 feet wide. So the door is right here next to Echo 7.
Okay. And then I'm
Echo 7, Zinnia, and you are the only ones in the room.
All right. I'm gonna take a shot with my laser pistol.
Alrighty.
Trick attack.
I'm very excited for you to find out how.
It's a CR 14.
This thing is. Oh, that will do it though.
It's a 19 to hit.
19 flat-footed EAC. Of course, that's a hit.
It's 7 damage.
Oh my goodness! Alrighty. 7 points on the board as you score a hit. It does look like, as is like completely made of metal, this thing is tough. This little death box.
Oh boy.
Zinnia, we're on to you next. Also right in the room, about 10 feet away from this thing.
Can I somehow identify this thing?
Yes, this is going to be an engineering check
Okay.
to identify.
Oh no.
Oh, that's a natural 1, so only a 10.
Oh, a natural 1, so only a 10? Get out of here.
Now, does that include adding 1 for your alien artifact bonus? Or is that only life science?
No, it's to identify
Yes,
creatures, I
any
believe, so I think it would apply.
I mean, I'm just saying it is an 11. It's not that bad, but
It's an 11.
that is not going to be enough to figure out what this thing is. Oh no.
Okay. Well, it doesn't look nice, so I'm going to use my laser pistol and stealthily attack it.
You don't look nice, bird lady.
Oh, and it's a +2 to the trick attack for dim light. So.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, that's a CR 8 or lower.
That'll do.
And the attack is a 13.
13 against EAC, flat-footed. That is just hits.
Oh, perfect. That will do 5 damage total.
Alrighty, excellent. It is getting damage. It's getting there, but it is its turn now. In the 18 right before Devasho, it is going to move up a guarded step right before Echo 7 and within range of a Sprouts and a Zinnia. I think, unfortunately, it's got to go to a Sprouts who did a little bit more damage here and also might have more of a chance as you guys are on the same level, same size. So it's coming at you with some death arms. These like serrated bladed little arms. It looks like it's kind of got switchblades for hands.
I just got pruned.
Oh, super hit. 19 on the dice. Definitely a hit. And this is a d6 damage. Roll a 4 on the dice. That is 8 points of slashing damage.
All right.
You are surprised that this thing was able to like get right over to you and reach with that blade because, like I said, like you, it's tiny. It's really, really not small, but tiny. Maybe like 6 inches tall. That is its turn though, and we are on to Devasho next.
Patrick, how thick and of what material is the walls in between the two cells?
The prison walls.
Yeah, the prison walls.
The walls of the prison are
the walls of the prison
are pretty thick. Okay. I would say like a foot.
Okay, then we're not busting through that.
Yeah, no, like like the prisoners camp.
Well, the prisoners aren't a large, Solarian.
They could be.
Person. Well, they're not.
True. Yeah, right now you kind of have some people in your way.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to use a move action just to get the shield out. And everybody's in my way. So we'll use another move action to focus on this little guy. And Devasho would maybe poke his head around the door and be like,
do you need help? It's really cute. I don't know if I am required and I can't fit.
Oh, this thing is putting some hurt on Sprout so far. So if that's going to be your turn, though, we are on to Echo 7, Drew.
All right. Can I pull out my weapon or have I had my weapon out because we have been walking into a potentially dangerous area?
Yeah, it's up to you guys if you want to have had your weapons out. It's not like a sunny walk through the park here. There are like dead bodies and fires and stuff. I assume you could have a weapon out.
Is this considered a tiny creature?
It is. It is very small.
Does that mean they cannot do attacks of opportunity?
I don't know. Do you have engineering? Do you want to see if you can roll it?
What'd you get? 14?
Yeah, it's still not going to be enough for this little guy.
Yeah, I'm going to shoot it in the face with a hail cannon.
Without moving?
Without moving.
Okay, so it will get an attack of opportunity. Drawing that from this guy, maybe that's a good thing. Super hit. 19 on the dice.
Jeez.
Yeah, that was a little early there for the gun sound effect. Do we have any?
Oh yeah, my bad. What
tiny toy that's trying to kill you sound effects? Ooh. Maximum damage, 10 points of slashing. Ouch.
Tiny things didn't get attacks of opportunity.
Yeah, you'd be surprised by that, but yeah, maybe not. Making your attack now?
Yep. See if I can get something back. It's a 15.
15 against KAC is going to be a miss.
Didn't matter, it's 1 damage anyway.
Oh boy. Now you still have a move action. Do you want to take that?
Yeah, I'll take a guarded step back out. And actually, no, I'm not going to because I don't want it
It's already taken its attack of opportunity.
Drew, move. Trest is like right behind you.
All right, I'll move. I'll move over here.
Okay.
All right, moving past this little thing, you just can kind of like step right over it after it stabs you. And that is indeed going to bring us to Trest. Now that has the Sharon has a kind of a clear path. What do you want to do? Jib jab.
Does Zinnia have her baton out, or is that gun times?
I think I shot before, but yeah.
Once again, it's up to you if you want to have both out.
Can I just have both out? I mean, I have 2 hands.
Yes.
2 hands for 2 weapons. Yes, I have them both out.
All right, sweet. Yeah, I'm gonna step in and then sidestep around this guy and get just opposite Zinnia on this thing. Come around and I'm gonna try to take one of those saw blades right off of there.
Okay. They are integrated. They're like its arms.
I'm gonna cut it off.
Oh, okay.
With a super sword.
Attacking.
Level 1 super sword.
Oh man, that 120 is so bad.
It looks like a 20.
It reached 20 on mine.
Oh, so unfair.
Patrick, that's cocked. I gotta re-roll that one.
Well, you've got a book reroll. I'm not telling you how to use your dice, but
you know what? No, I'm going to use communalism.
You're once a day. You know, I was thinking about that just earlier today. I was like, has he used communalism?
I have not used communalism even once so far this campaign. I've been.
Can you now remind us what communalism is?
I was about to say, actually, I think communalism you have to choose before you roll, right?
Let's find out.
A Sharon can roll a single attack roll or skill check twice and take their higher result. So if that's not a reroll.
That's not a reroll.
You do have a book reroll. That's why they're so powerful. Is that a yay or nay?
Yay.
Oh my goodness.
You're first having none of this, little murder bot.
Now, can you choose communalism here?
I will allow it if you want to use it on the reroll, just to give that extra spice.
Yeah, let's do it here.
Wow, we're going all out.
Rolling twice. All right, so there's one.
Oh, that's not bad.
It's not bad.
But you could have rolled the 20 on the second one.
It's slightly less, almost not bad.
12 and 11, yeah. That 16 against KAC with flanking, that is going to be enough. How much damage did you roll with that?
Yeah, 6 points of damage.
All right.
6 points of damage on both of those rolls, by the way.
I know.
And he's flat-footed.
Once again, it only is flat-footed to your attack.
Oh, sorry, my bad.
Later on, it happened with Bumfuzzle, you guys will both probably get that ability. But right now, you guys know whose turn it is. It's Raz Gunjan who's going to get up in there.
Yeah! Raz,
it's attack time.
Come back, Raz.
I'm helping. I rolled a 4. I'm not helping, guys.
Raz, come back, Raz. He's too much for you.
Turn 2, Miles. We're back to Sprouts.
All right. He's already used his attack.
He has. So
I'm just going to pop over to the other side of the room.
Ooh, nice. So racing past this little thing.
And then I'm going to use my trick attack. It's a 12 to hit.
Ooh, yeah, no trick, and against EAC, that is a miss.
Oh.
Sadly. But Zinnia, our next operative, is up in the turn order before it goes. What would you like to do, Rebecca?
Well, since I'm flanking with Trust, I'm going to stay where I am and use my baton to slap this little toy against its face with my baton.
All right, go right ahead.
But stealthily. I don't have to move to use a trick attack, right?
No, you do not.
It's not going to see this baton coming at its face.
You're striking from the shadows and
Shadow baton.
A considerable height difference.
Oh my goodness.
All right, so trick attack does not go off. However, the attack itself is a 21.
Oh, that's a hit.
That's 4 damage.
And it is bloodied. You see, it's kind of like lopsided, and there's like a couple sparks spewing out of its neck. It is its turn, though, and it looks like a Raz, a Zinnia, and a Tress get to make an attack of opportunity because it is running straight for our Raxlite friend. Straight for Sprouts.
Raz, be the hero, Raz. Be the hero.
Well, how about the PCs be a hero first? Yeah, we got a hit from Trest.
How about Trest be a hero?
Yeah, Trest.
With 9
18
damage.
from Zinnia.
A hit from Trest, a hit from Zinnia. What damage, Zinnia?
3.
Okay, it is looking really hurt after that as it is chugging towards Sprouts. Can Raz do it? Let's take
Did you take Tress 9 to a account?
Yeah. It's almost dead. I've rolled a 12 for our good friend Raz, and that is a hit.
Oh, Razzmatazz.
Kill steal.
Oh my goodness. I have to go back and check his stats because we're so close here.
I think it's a +3, so I think that's 6.
I've rolled a 3 on the D4. Back to last week's episode notes, everyone.
I don't know where to track his damage under. I'm not giving it to Patrick.
I track. You're talking about Raz.
Yeah.
I thought you were talking about how much damage he's taken.
Oh, no. I mean, like how much I track your damage output, but I don't want to count. But that's against us. I don't want to count his damage under you.
You could have a catch-all NPC damage.
Definitely
right?
a hit. And I've rolled a 3 on the dice. That is just enough to destroy this little thing. Wow. All 3 of you had to hit in order to take that down, because just Raz and Tress would not have been enough. Needed Zinnia. It was going right for Sprouts for another spring attack. This is a creature, a monster. It is a weaponized devil in a box. It's a tiny technological construct, but it does have a spring attack and a mobile reach, which means if it moves, it gets a 5-foot reach on its turn. Which is what it was trying to do. And this is a pretty painful little devilish creature that it does seem like it was perhaps left behind here. Now that we are out of combat, as it's dying in front of you, Sprouts, you hear just like a recorded message almost, but it's this thing's little voice, and you hear as it's like slowly fading away, it says, I shall protect you, Sister Spark. It is dead, and you are able to now take another look around the jail cell, and Sprouts, bleeding from this thing's attack, still little plant blood. You find tacked to the wall Briar's business card, and on it a note scribbled in kind of a manic, ham-fisted, blocky letters, the words "First to Die." There's a crude drawing of your partner scraped into the wall next to it, and you find a note underneath that as well. Of course, that note reads, "To be continued." Oh, but we'll find out more about this mystery next week on the podcast.
Exciting.
This is a little side adventure, not part of the AP, but is a part of our story, because of course we had to go to the prison. How are you not going to a place called the Scorpion?
I agree. It's pretty cool.
What exactly does that mean? First to die, Sister Spark. Oh, these answers will come in future episodes, but you guys have to keep playing. You have to continue to be my friends, and everyone out there has to continue to listen to the podcast in order to get the mysteries solved.
I have the art for the weaponized toy. I'll see if I can't put it in front of my webcam for you.
It is indeed, yeah. So that one, it's so funny. I remember that art. I didn't want to use that specifically. It looks like a little swarm popping out of like a Jack in the Box.
Yeah.
This one does look like a little devilish.
Here's another one where it's actually it's a little ball that projects like a living hologram of a knight that attacks.
Oh, that's cool.
I believe that's a different version of it.
This is a deadly little creature. This was CR3 that you guys were able to take on. I thought this was going to be a fun one. It could be a little dangerous if you hadn't seen that trap. Zinnia, very useful that you walked into the room.
Yeah. I'm glad I did.
Because, I think Sprouts might almost be down unless you got evasion. You probably would have been fine.
Yeah.
That's going to do it for us this week. We are back on the path next week, north. We're going to see what Linmari's got in store. Guys, thanks for playing with me.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Everyone out there, thanks for listening, and we'll see you next week.